Welcome to Drivecast, your family-friendly Pablo.
Family-friendly Pablo.
Oh, what are you talking
Family
about?
friendly Pablo.
Welcome to Drivecast, your family-friendly podcast, starring me, Jay, Straight Up Hippo, also known as Cam, Niner Fan Gaming, also known as Richard, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of things, including
He had an error.
including Need for Speed and how good it is. Also, we're going to be talking about The Crew 2 and how good it is. Also, we're going to be talking about Super Street, the game, and how good it is. Also, we're going to be talking about Omrush.
Armrest?
Oh,
balls been well itchy, you know.
Dangerous driving.
My
You gotta
balls
talk
are
about
actually
dangerous
bare
driving
itchy.
too.
My balls are well itchy, you know.
Even though I took a shower earlier, like, for some reason I have slump ass.
I smell like
Only you dirty Yanks would think of such terms as
Listen,
swamp ass.
You have slump
It
ass,
makes
you
sense.
gotta deal with it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Best way to describe what that is.
So hold tight, everyone. So basically, we've been away for a month. This is now a monthly podcast. We've decided. We've decided
Next
it's now a
month's gonna be
monthly
2 months.
Yeah. CJ, when did you say the yearly like anniversary thing was?
It's
Technically-
December 24th.
Yeah, but that
I
thing
knew
is,
it.
the thing is,
Oh, this guy's sitting
the
on
thing
shit.
is, we're coming up.
Welcome,
We're coming
John,
up
to
on
the
our
chat.
4th anniversary. And
Gosh.
also, but then again, that's technically weird because like we had a month hiatus directly after that. So for our first like weekly episode.
Should I say now or should I not say?
Say
Let's just see how long we can go.
Say it, pussy.
See how long
Yeah.
we can go. All right. Yeah. So we've been away for a while. There's no real reason for that, to be honest. A lot has happened in the last month. What did we even talk about in the last episode?
I think we were talking about the free roam update, the new free roam. Well, heading on to the free roam update, it was like around April. Wait, you said the last one was April, so this was actually
I mean,
Before-
regardless, it doesn't matter because the game's still fucking shitty, but, you know.
The free roam update came out.
no,
A month ago.
the free roam update came out March, sometime. I don't really remember, because it was the last update before the one we just got was released in March, because that added free roam bait crate cops and added like skill shit to free roam multiplayer. And then there's like a 3-month hiatus until they released the next update. For some reason.
Wait, so you just said that the last time we did Drivecast was the free roam part,
I actually
and
don't
then
know.
it's
at this
3
point.
months. What are you talking about, you fucking nutter? Like, right, hold
I
tight,
am
Ashley.
bamboozled.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to fucking copy something across, but it won't fucking copy.
It's good.
Right. Yeah, we're trying something new
What are
today.
we doing?
We don't know if it's gonna work or not. Right, there we go. Apollo, yeah, but there's nothing else to say really. We haven't been doing this for a while. Shout out to Richard for actually turning.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
we also
Yeah.
gotta what's it called? We also gotta celebrate. I know it's a bit belated, but we gotta celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Richard's retirement.
Retirement.
Yeah.
You said retire. What do we actually want to talk about?
Let's
Well, I
talk
mean-
about dangerous driving.
All right. So Need for Speed.
yeah,
The dangerous
yeah,
driving.
yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about
dangerous
dangerous driving. Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So,
No,
I know what you're talking about.
it's not going to be, but yeah.
I mean, it
Not
will.
going to be enough,
But
it won't.
it will.
on an indie budget, yeah. From the screenshots, it looked pretty well.
They're
It
not
looked
as a
pretty
triple
good.
A game.
Oh, definitely not. But then again, the thing is, at
Not the
the
first
thing is, at the same
two.
time, they're gonna release it like as
The
an indie
first two
game,
burnouts
$15.
were EA, weren't they?
The first two didn't.
No,
come
they
out
were
yet,
they were
yeah.
under a claim.
That was probably why I never played them.
The more you know, bitch.
I'm familiar with,
The more you know,
with all the
bitch.
big ones coming out. All the big boys come out with like Horizon 4 and fucking Super Street and shit. I've never heard of this.
Super Street,
I've
Super
never-
Street.
I've-
This guy
I've
says
never
Super
heard
Street.
about this dangerous driving shit.
Because it just got announced like today.
Because it got announced today.
Whoa.
This is like we're actually fast on. Can you figure that Drivecast are first on news?
Yeah.
The first on news is Drivecast. Think about that.
We're Fox News now.
We've been away for a month and we're still first on the
Fox
news.
News, baby.
And it's funny how they're releasing Dangerous Driving and Danger Zone 2.
Yeah.
Danger
Shout
Zone
out
2.
to Danger Zone.
Danger Zone 2. Shout out to Danger Zone
man.
2.
Super Street, what a meme of a game.
Danger Zone 1 was alright, but like, I mean, it was only 10. It was only a 10. So
Yeah, also, that's probably what the next couple
It's
games are going to be.
Super Street's gonna be a full price AAA game.
$50, and they're touting it off as if it's like a AAA game, but here you have, like...
The literally guy admitted how can you admit to having 5 cars in the game and then still act?
They haven't even released gameplay. They announced the game today, those 2 games today, and we already got shown more by what they showed off today than what Super Street has shown off in a year.
Yeah, literally, that's true. What they're showing off with Dangerous Shits.
The Danger Shits.
The Danger Shits is more gameplay than we've seen with Super Street. I don't have on a level. Let's talk about that then. How ridiculous it is that people actually think that game is gonna be like
Anything.
something. How ridiculous? Like, I'm the one to give the benefit of the doubt. You know what? Like, fair enough. I get people just want to like it, innit? People just want a good game. There's no reason for people to want a bad game. But some of the people saying that it's going to be the next Midnight Club, I've heard that genuinely. The next Midnight Club, you know, that's like.
Crew 2 has nothing on Super Street.
Oh yeah. Pretty sure Super Street the game is not even open world. It's not. It's
not. It's closed circuit. Closed circuit with 5 cars, and people are touting it to be the next Midnight Club.
Even Midnight Club, the original Midnight Club was open world.
Stupid.
It's just the way they're selling it. If they just sell it for like what it is, they're not doing that. How are you charging me £40 for 5 cars in a game?
Yeah.
We don't live in. How much is it? $50.
How many cars did Hot Pursuit 2 have in?
Yeah, no, I think it was even more on the PS2 version.
When was that game released?
2002.
So please.
Wait, no. Need for Speed High Stakes in 1999 had more cars. No, Need for Speed, the original Need for Speed game from 1994 has more cars than Super Street the game.
I bet the fucking first video game ever, which was Pong. I bet Pong had more content than this fucking game, man. I'm not buying any of it at all. And I'm not even trying to. I'm not even trying to be negative or anything. It's just what do you?
I think we should tell him. You know.
Oh.
The thing. I think we should tell him. You know, because like.
CJ.
I know it was live. I saw it like 5 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
No,
I did. I had it up because I was looking.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I was here when the first person was there. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I've been here for like the past.
CJ, I swear to God, I will castrate your pussy.
Oh, well, the whole reason this says "Let Something New" in the title, that's because we actually are live. So hello to everyone. We are going to ignore you. Right, so we talked about Super Street. Do we want to talk about anything Tokyo Nights?
Tokyo Nights.
I can't be awfully loud, otherwise I would scream Tokyo Nights at the top of my voice in my house. At my highest Japanese voice. But I can't. So Jay, I'm going to ask you to do it on my behalf.
Tokyo Nights is trash still. Shit idea.
No, I'm going to have to ask you to scream Tokyo Nights in your best Japanese accent in like highest pitch.
Wait, right now? Okay, give me a countdown.
Right. Ready, set up. Go!
My great grandfather died in a crash. And I have to repay his debts by street racing and giving him some quality dick.
He's dead.
I'll dick him down when he's dead.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You know what would be quite a fun podcast idea? The high episode.
I have to go to California though, where it's illegal.
No.
Oh yeah, it's illegal where CJ. It's illegal.
Yeah, it's still.
Actually.
Are you retarded? Do you not know we've got 2 people from the United Kingdom in this fucking
Is it illegal there?
pool?
Yes.
Oh, if it is. Oh, if it's.
We don't talk to birds.
Hey Miniko, how you doing, my man?
I think hi.
No, this is why we we're gonna have a chat. You can't randomly say hello to people in the call. You can't randomly say hello to people. What about the people that are watching this afterwards? You're sitting there saying hello, Monica, in the fucking chat. Like,
when you're watching a live stream post launch, it still has the chat update as if it was live.
yes, CJ, this isn't your content. This isn't your shit content, which you re-upload. You re-upload streams, you lazy shit.
Shut up, liberal.
Fucking hell. What were we even talking about?
I'm Jack. Shut up, liberal. I'm American. Did I mention I'm American? Shut up, liberal.
Jay, how's your life
good,
been
man, you know what I'm
since
saying?
the last
Out here,
Drivecast?
you know what I'm saying? You know, we living, you know what I'm saying?
Now tell me about your life. I want to know about your life.
For real.
I'm a viewer. I
I've
want
been
to
wanting
understand.
fucking kill myself lately, honestly, but you know, we out here.
Hashtag totes relatable.
We out
Totes
here, you know.
relatable.
This fucking chat is out of control. I'll drive into you, Phil.
Hey, you're not supposed to acknowledge chat.
Yeah, you're not supposed to acknowledge chat, you dumb
You're
black.
all really shit at this. Me and Nine are the only ones
I'm not
holding the
supposed
fort
to-
now.
Fortnite!
BBA.
Tilted towers, tilted towers. I don't know.
Where we dropping,
Can't
boys?
be mean, that's why.
Why? Oh, CJ, shut up. Why are we not supposed to acknowledge?
Because it's a podcast. When people watch it back, they're not going to look at the chat, are they? When they're listening to, when people are literally putting this on in the background of their cock hero endurance, they're not going to be looking at the chat, are
Have you
they?
actually ever played Cocker? Oh,
Of
yes,
course
good
I
man.
have. Not
Oh.
done
You
such
guys,
dirty
you guys
things.
play Fortnite.
Fortnite Fridays.
Chug, am I right? Chug, am I right?
No,
Fortnite Fridays with the clan.
no, Nani, you actually did properly play it at one
What?
point, didn't you?
Fortnite.
Boogie down challenge live.
Richard, you're the one who taught me how to like spam the parachute.
Yeah, because I have friends who play it.
Oh my god. Do you know what would be great if you could get gifts on the fucking border? Get the fucking the Fortnite kid doing the fucking Boogie down challenge.
Yes.
Did you guys know that got
Yeah,
added?
it did. They need to add Despacito.
The orange, yeah, they added it because it lost the thing, and everyone was like mad, like proper mad. So in uproar, they added
Nah, they gotta add
it to the game.
Despacito to it.
Oi.
That's not a
Shit
fucking
meme.
dance.
Why you always gotta
Shit,
kill
man,
shit
just
for?
get the fuck out of the
Why you gotta
chat.
kill shit for? You know what? If they actually did make a Despacito 2 and labeled it Despacito 2, do you know how actually that how well that
They would
did?
make money.
You know how well that actually did? No, it actually would do well. Like Despacito 2 would sell mad. Like that's not even a
Despacito
joke.
2 found on Mars.
You know, CJ's made me not like that's not funny to me anymore.
What? Because of CJ?
Every time I'm in a call, he speaks about it, and we're not even in calls that much anymore. So it's like,
Shut up, liberal.
You look
I am,
smart.
honestly, I really am hurt. I'm really damaged.
Oh, there's been some good memes recently.
What?
There has
No,
been
hang
some
on,
good
Let me get my
moves
phone
recently.
because
Um,
some of the fucking jokes.
races of the world.
Number one. was
White people.
No, you just said white.
Oh, it's just white.
You can't
Number two. Niggers.
say cheese.
Jeez!
Oh no, but that didn't even have the flashlight.
Flashlight?
Cam, is that the camera you're
Why
gonna
is
use to take pictures of children when you're like 25? Ah.
Did I send you that meme of that really big nigger and the guy's like commentating over it?
Then look at his body. So if you ever put cha-cha slide and they said hands on your knees, big head, because his stomach is occupying the area. This
No, you
Oh,
need
that's
to watch it. You need to watch the whole thing. It's hilarious.
Wait, so
Well, I don't think we're gonna
Ken.
do that right
No,
now on
I'm just
Drivecast,
saying-
you fucking pagan. Oh, now you got CJ spamming shit down the mic.
Can I get an E in chat?
No, because that's
No.
shit. We don't do those shit memes here, so let's not.
Cam, why'd you mention the high episode?
Wait, before I go into that, I was just gonna show you this.
I don't understand what I'm looking at. Is he at a gym?
Yeah, he's at a public gym and he's thrusting on the machine. I just think that'd be hilarious
No,
if we were all just
Now
like,
you've actually
quiet
made
and
people
then
put a
did an
fucking
episode.
E in here. Move on.
No, I just think that'd be hilarious. Obviously, CJ
Nah,
wouldn't be
CJ
able
definitely
to
wouldn't.
do such things.
I just feel
because
like it was,
he's
it
a
was
Christian.
Of laughing. So I just,
I'm a former Christian.
Hey,
Nah, it
Cam,
wouldn't,
hey,
it
Cam,
wouldn't,
Jay,
it wouldn't.
smell that shit. Oh,
Oh.
what's in there? You
I'm
can't
sorry,
see
we're
it.
not actually. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't do drugs.
Sorry, I don't partake in
Shut
that.
the
It's
fuck
illegal
up.
here.
What drugs?
The only drug I
Life.
take in is
Yeah.
life.
I don't need drugs because I'm high on life.
I've got a game we can play to keep this going. So I'm gonna say a word backwards, and
So
you
it's
guys
gonna be
need
like
to
earlier.
How
try
are
and
you gonna
predict
know
what
how
it
to
is.
say?
What me and Nigel are doing. I'm gonna type it out. Like I won't. I'll just type it out on my thing to know what it is. So, right, don't look at the chat. We can get the chat involved. No, we can't get the chat involved. That's right. I'm gonna pick a random word from the chat.
I like how Cam originally said he
I need
doesn't want to involve the chat at all, and here he is involving the chat.
Right. Cert.
Samsung.
You're out of the game.
No, I'm sorry. What?
Cert.
Cessna.
No, you don't do the effects.
Okay,
Just say
no.
it. Like,
No, Cam.
You
When
Cam,
you-
you, literally the first time you went Tassut, and then the second time you went Tahut.
No, it didn't. You know what? Cert.
This is impossible.
It's not,
It's
man.
Tussat.
Cert.
Wait, no, we're guessing the word
No.
backwards.
I'm putting the effect on it. That's why it
I
might
would
sound a bit
put the
different.
effect
Like
on
it
it.
sounds
'Cause
like
how the fuck am I? I'm not a machine.
Cert.
Croissant.
Just say it. Just say it backwards. Cert.
First set.
Upset.
No, that's not what I was... Right, one more try. Cert.
Sex hut.
To be fair, it sounds nothing like what I'm saying because I'm saying it wrong.
Well, we're on level 1. Like,
What
this
are we-
is hard.
What is that?
Chesterton. That was supposed to be trenches, but it didn't really go right.
Trenches?
like, out of all the words, why are we gonna guess that?
Cert is trenches
I
backwards.
didn't get the ch.
Yeah, where's the chat? You
Yeah, where's
fucking
the
idiot.
Yeah,
Se.
man.
Why do we have an Afghani
Cert,
fucking do this game?
This
Why
game-
can't
this
we
game's-
have like
this
someone who
game's
doesn't have
glitched.
a slurred accent?
Boy, no one even knows what the fuck you are, Chinky boys. So
This
let's
game-
not even go there. The fact you've not even been here for 3 years.
game-
Let's
No,
not.
game's
actually,
glitched.
it's been 1 year.
Why are we attacking each other? What just happened?
Well, not my fault. Right, Nina, you go next then. If you think so.
Oh
easy.
yeah, oh yeah. Team us.
Team Hus.
J
Hus,
Hus.
yeah. Say again.
Team us.
Team Us. Us him. Try again.
Team us.
Audio's been off sync all this time.
Oh my fucking.
I don't think that's what he said.
That's
Off
alright. So it's only for me, and it's only for the first like 18 minutes. So it's alright.
14! Yeah!
Alright, I got one.
No. You guys didn't fucking complete mine,
Say
dumbass.
again.
Shut the fuck up,
Say,
CJ.
say it again.
Team us.
Team Us.
Tim Us.
So it's Us is an S at the end. So it starts off with an S.
Beginning.
Team
Yeah.
Us. Us. That's a U. Tim-
So,
Is the second word, is the first
Mit,
word the same?
MIT.
It's all
Tim
one
is-
word.
Mitsus.
Tim
So-
So it's some type of S. S-U-M-T.
Some tits.
There's
No,
something
no.
in the middle of it's
Say it again.
Team us.
S-U something
Summit.
T.
Team us.
Summit.
Yeah.
yeah, Neelix got it.
You can't
I
look at
didn't
the
read
chat,
any
you
chat, so I
fucking
got it.
retard.
I haven't even got it open. I got it, not me. Phil didn't get shit. Right? Don't even.
How are you going to
Slav's
look at
not
the
even
chat?
in
We're
here.
supposed to be ignoring the chat.
I'm
you
not
cunt.
looking at the chat.
No, I'm not speaking to you, am I, Pagan?
Yeah, Jay, why are you looking at chat?
Listen,
Yeah,
you
Jay, you
spotty
dumbass.
cunt. Go and get some fucking face care, skin care,
Yeah,
you
CJ,
fucking spotty
stupid.
bastard.
Nah, can we speak about face care for a second? I've genuinely been moisturising my skin recently. This isn't even a joke. I got one tip for all these youths in the chat. Just moisturise your fucking skin.
Don't moisturise it, just clean it.
Moisturise your shits because honestly, yeah, makes a huge difference to your skin. You know, I'm not even joking.
Now, wash your face, right, and drink water.
I'm gonna bring this a bit closer so I can really talk to you guys.
Oh, that's hot.
No, but genuinely, moisturise your skin. It's some shit, man. It's genuinely. What else have I been doing recently?
What
I've
do
been
you use
doing
to moisturise your skin?
moisturiser.
What kind? What brand?
Nivea.
Man's got
Labia?
that on lock.
Yeah,
I
man.
use prescription.
And you know when the older men, depending on what you're into. I know some people might be a bit nervous about their sexuality. There's no problem with me. When they come and they feel it, they can feel it like this. They go, oh.
No, they don't.
Oh.
That's a fabrication.
Like that, man.
What you're talking about, fam?
Do you not
Right.
moisturise? Put your hand up if you moisturise in this video call.
Yeah.
I moisturise because I'm black. I
Wait.
was taught to
I moisturize with my semen.
CJ, I bet your dick is well crusty because it's not moisturised.
No.
I bet your knees are
Correct.
well crusty. Now your dick isn't crusty because you just fucking wank off so much you're always sweating.
No, my elbows used to be really
I bet,
crusty when
but
I
you know
was,
what I'm gonna do to moisturise?
Nah, mate.
I use
I-
sponge.
My arm elbows used to be crusty,
You
but
know
ever
that stuff
since-
they use in the gymnastics, like the dust that they use for grip. I use that to wank off with.
That must hurt, because then you just get fucking bare rashes.
crusty crab.
No, my dick. I don't even have a dick anymore. I just rubbed it too hard. It's,
Oh.
it's just a thread.
I don't identify with an agenda.
Me neither.
Attachable penis.
I'm a glombliphobe.
No, I'm a xenogorb.
Oh, xenoglobes are sick, The ones with the little heads. Yeah, man. Xenoglobes. You know what? Why am I... I might have to rename the episode to Xenoglobes.
We're the xenoglobes and our cousins are the snow globes.
Fucking hell, man. That's sick. I actually rate that highly. I really rate that. I might have to rename the episode Xenoglobes, to be honest. Pause. What else? I had to release, innit?
You had to do it to him.
Should we dig into Payback?
Ooh.
Oh god.
Have we not said everything we need to say?
I've not.
No, we haven't talked about it yet.
Payback at all. So
You
Can I get a
the stage has been yours. I give you the
Can I get-
stage.
I mean,
can I get a lol emoji?
I think it's public knowledge at this point that the fucking game's a mess. But I want to just kind of talk about it a bit deeper. So let's understand why the game is a fucking mess. Because it's not just one thing. It's a lot.
It's multiple, yeah.
It's a lot of things, and it just saddens me that it's such a mess.
What I've been thinking about recently is just how it kind of slowed down everything in the community, if you know what I mean, for a period of time after its release. It just slowed everything down with just how.
Not even the community though, just the game.
Actually, there's one original problem, and that is what the fuck was the point of a reboot? If this next game is gonna be completely fucking different. Literally, that reboot was made for to follow a theme for from that fucking game. It was supposed to be underground street racing, and then I guess you could mix in at night, but it's mainly underground street racing and customization. And what the fuck do they do with this game? They have the street racing still, but for some reason we added an off-road. No one fucking asked for off-road, but we got it.
Like
They lost their direction.
they took a huge leap with 2015 and got scared because some of the reviews were bad and took a complete 360.
Yeah.
And it's gone even worse.
I think it's a mix of a lot of things. I think it's misunderstanding of what people wanted. I think it's the fact that people do give Ghost a lot of hate. Some of it being unnecessary because their studio is so small. I think people forget that they haven't got the Crew 2 size studio.
They
Do you
have
know
like
how many
60
people work
people.
at Ivory Tower? Fucking mad. Their team's huge. Then Playground Game, team's fucking huge. Ghost are understaffed. They can't do everything what everyone's asking. So like, and obviously, in reality, if you think about it like rationally, for the size of the Crew as an IP compared to Need for Speed, the studios realistically probably should be swapped in terms of size.
Definitely, yeah, but it's insane.
People don't look at that. Like,
The thing is,
they'll never look at that. But like,
NEI,
yeah, I was gonna say it's a mix probably of all of that. And if the next game is a Payback 2, which God forbid it is, they won't die. I don't know. People saying Need for Speed isn't gonna die, but like it's just it's gonna be a bit disappointing.
the thing is, in the eyes of EA, it's a cash cow series. You know what I mean? Like, basically, that means like they're not really growing their fan base from what they already have, at least in their eyes. Again, this is their eyes, and they're not really growing like the amount of people buying each game. So they're pretty much just lowering the budget each year just to like pump out a new game.
How do you know that?
Is that wait? No. Is that really true though? Because I don't think they would use Need for Speed. I don't think they would use Need for Speed as a cash cow when they have all these fucking sports games they produce. They use the sports games as fucking cash cows. They wouldn't use Need for Speed as a cash cow.
It's one of their cash cows. They have multiple.
As much as like the game looks awful, technical, like if you want to get technical, it's more advanced than 2015. There's there's a lot more activity on the map, believe it or not. So I doubt. I imagine Payback cost more to make than 2015.
Without a doubt, Payback is on paper a better game than 2015. The physics are better. That's not a question. There's more to the game in terms of actual content, whether people will like it or not. But it just doesn't play as good as 2015, which is ridiculous. It will look as good.
It doesn't, like, as a package, as a whole. The execution is not as good as 2015.
Very.
Like, I find it really. When I first went into Payback, I went in with a positive mindset just because of how much like
we enjoyed 2015.
I had a lot of trust in Ghost because I from what I understood, they understood us. From what I understood, like they made it. Can you remember the last Under the Hood of 2015? The 2015 game?
Yeah.
They made it very clear that they understood what we asked for, what we've been asking for, and they're going to deliver in the next game. And I don't know what went through that studio, but what came out the other end is not a result of what feedback they got.
They lost Craig halfway through.
I know before I was in the Game Changers or even Cam, people went to Ghost and told them what they want. I don't know what was said.
Well, I was there in 2015 at the because I wasn't part of the Game Changers, but I went to all the update things in the UK because it was in the UK, and that Lee, who at the time was the community manager for the UK, was like, "Why don't you pop down?" And I was like, "Oh, all right then." And back then, in the feedback sessions during that period, like I do remember a lot of people saying off-road, and I was like, I don't think it suited Need for Speed. I was like one of the very few people. But like they did listen to a lot of what people had to say in that group. Everyone was like, "Oh, what about off-road and stuff?" And I was like, and having the map open and stuff. And I was like, I don't think that suits Need for Speed. But they're
It doesn't.
But obviously, my voice is whatever in it. So
it's not even that. I'm not completely closed off to off-roading. But when you're adding it, and there's so many more things that need fixing and adding, and there's so many more problems and so many different things that could have been like added instead of that. I can't understand why that was like, because that's a huge thing, you know.
It's not necessarily an issue, but one thing that could add to the longevity of the game is adding in like achievement things, like you know what I mean, like I can
hear Nina's voice like reverbing off someone's.
Yeah, I can hear that too.
That's probably me.
If you have a certain amount of like race wins, or like if you drove a certain amount, you like unlock a special livery or a special car or something. like
too late.
that could. What?
Oh, it's way too late.
It's way too late for
Oh
anything.
no,
to
but
add.
I'm saying that would add to the longevity of a game in the future. You can't add that now; it'd be pointless.
I feel like as well people don't understand the context. A lot of people trash on Ghost, but this isn't Ghost's fault. As much as people trash Ghost for it, it's not. What could they do about A, being understaffed, B, losing their creative lead halfway through the development process?
Yeah.
People don't realize how huge that is. Then obviously
Also-
being given a shit budget, you know, if
And
Forza
having
can
that.
get if Forza can get a Liberty Walk Ferraris, there's no reason Need for Speed can't. And the only reason I can think of is because of budget. Like, there's a reason why all this happens. It's not. I still believe Ghost do, to an extent, understand what we want, but the tools they've been given by EA simply aren't enough. And if you look at EA's track record with killing studios, with Black Box and how they were treated, I think the issue lies more with EA than Ghost. And I've only had that recent change of heart, to be honest.
I mean,
it makes sense because look at 2015, and that was probably on a lower budget, and that was still a good game.
I mean, games as a whole, like if you look at the way games are today, a few examples, one more relatable than the other. The Crew. The Crew released as quite a shaky game.
Oh, I remember.
By the end
that.
of its life cycle, it managed to kind of round itself off. It wasn't perfect, but it managed to improve itself enough to be a next-gen game.
And now look at the Crew too.
Rainbow Six Siege started as a very shit game.
That's the best example.
It was broken. It was completely broken, unbalanced, and it was terrible. Now, it is one of my favorite first-person shooters I've ever played.
It's one of the most played games in the world.
So
Yeah.
it's not even like... if you look at games being improved over time, a lot of games this generation are doing it. So how Need for Speed is failing, and I keep seeing like No Limits pop up on my timeline, and I keep seeing. I know it's a game that's fueled by microtransactions, but it's really hard to look at that and not kind of be disappointed that it isn't the main series getting that type of compassion.
Yeah.
That's one thing that annoys me. Every type of monetary, like every type of way you can monetize your game is in Payback. They've got microtransaction, paid DLC, both of them, multiple accounts of both of them, and then they've had the audacity in the latest update to put neon packs and stuff in the game.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
Yeah, I saw that. Like
Neon packs, token packs, or something across those lines, so you can buy those with shipments.
Like how many fucking like what? It's so confusing at this point. Like it was confusing at launch too. Like how to get like shit through DLC. Like I wasn't gonna buy it anyway, but still.
I mean, even
Like-
down to the branding.
Yeah.
It's like if you go on to Need for Speed's like page, can you remember how with 2015 any like promotion, any like promo art that was put out, it was always like you could tell that it was thought about and checked before it was put out. And now, like if there's an abandoned car or something, or the type of fucking screenshots they use are just like it baffles me because it's a AAA game. It's not like it's some half-assed game that costs nothing to make. It's an expensive game to make.
It's not as bad as when they released. This is way back when they released the 2015 Mustang for free for Need for Speed Rivals. They put out like a short promo of driving it on their YouTube channel, but the frame rate was like 10 frames a second, and it was really shitty quality. And this is on their official Need for Speed page too. Like it's not as bad as that, but still.
It's offline. Reconnection successful. Right, we back. That was weird. Right, yes. Anyway, I played it I played the alpha. I played it at Gamescom. Played the first beta. Then I played at the event, and now I'm playing the open beta. So I played it 5 different times now. Over a day and a half's playtime, I reckon. And I'm not and I haven't even gone past what we've playing now in the beta, being the drift events. And I swear to God, the crew, I cannot give Ivory Tower enough praise. Like what I said back at Gamescom, in my initial impressions, still stands. And there's not many games after a day and a half's playtime pre-release that I think I would say that with.
I remember when it got revealed at E3 last year, you were pissed. I remember that.
I was pissed for a day before I saw gameplay, and I didn't upload.
Yeah,
my
we
video.
we were all disappointed for a day. I remember that.
But what was one day when we saw the leak or the little trailer leak, and we didn't have a fucking clue what was going on, and then we actually saw gameplay, and we were like, oh, you know what? This actually looks sick, and then everything changed. And I remember saying at Gamescom to you guys, I was like, this is going to be better than Need for Speed. I remember saying that. I remember making a video on it.
Hey, you were right.
Well, I thought Need for Speed was going to be a lot better, but that's another thing. People also like say to YouTubers like, "Oh, you misled us, this, that, and the other." But like, people don't realize we don't play the full game. Like when I went to Gamescom, we played literally that one M5 race, and that was it, I think. And obviously the highway heist. Those are the only two things we had access. And then people say, "Oh, YouTubers are like the bane of existence. They fucking lied to us and shit." When we only had two things to check out, like that's it.
Well, if I'm honest, I don't go there as some sort of professional reviewer. I go there as a normal human being that likes to play video games.
Well,
And
if
I
you're
make
playing
content
one
with it.
race with an M5, yeah, and people are asking you about the physics on an open country road, what are you gonna say? You're gonna say it's good because that is exactly what it was. And it wasn't a fully upgrade. We don't know if it's fully upgraded, but it didn't seem like it was. But they've made that specifically, and then everyone's got the audacity to say like, "Well, you lied." No, we didn't lie. Like everything we said was like it was real, like it was true. And I still stand by everything I said in some of those videos. Maybe like a few things here and there, but for the most part, the physics are fixed. They're like, as much as people don't like it, they are fixed. They're not good. They are
Improved.
fixed.
They're not good.
Improved.
Improved. I wouldn't say
What's broken
fixed.
about them?
Fixed.
What's broken about them?
When you're drifting, they still kind of like.
It still feels like you're on.
But that's not
like,
the physics being broken. That's just the physics being trash. There's a difference.
I didn't say they were broken in the first place. I said they improved.
In 2015.
I said they improved it from 2015. They were. I feel like they were fucking shit in 2015, but they were improved in Payback. I don't think they fixed it because there's no fixing that. It's a terrible physics system. They need to fully rewrite it. I like that's just my honest opinion. I can play the crew and like kind of know where my car's gonna go. In Need for Speed, I have to like.
I do agree to an extent, because although the physics are fixed, I still have the old problems that I used to deal with in the last game, where sometimes I'll be drifting and I want to flip it back the other way, but it does that weird going sideways while going forward thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, it does happen.
I don't know. There's still things wrong with the physics that I don't understand why they exist and why they're there.
I know there's like
the physics system on that game is like
scripted.
Yeah,
they
it's
are.
not. It's not like completely free, like open, is it?
No.
I don't even know how the fuck that works, but
yeah, I know there was a big discussion about it on the Reddit where like the engineers had this huge ass like response to like.
So does it mean like it predicts where you're gonna go, or how does that work? I have no idea. I have no idea how the fuck it manages.
Well, it seems like what it is like. So when you go into a drift, it it has a line that it follows, and unless you like handbrake, or in 2015's case, you know how sometimes you could like the car would swing to the left, and like you can kind of control that if you handbraked and then braked at the same time. And the only reason I know that is because I played so much Maximum Attack, and I feel like that was just the algorithm messing up, but you can manipulate it. Because I used to do that all the time in Maximum Attack, like to keep drifts going. But what I feel like it does is it picks a line as you're drifting, and either if you brake more, it turns more in. If you don't brake as much and have no counter steer, it comes more out. If that makes sense. That's what I understand from playing it. Is it a frostbite issue?
I'm not sure.
I would think so.
I mean, in terms of Ghost making excuses to not fix the handling model, I think that's a bit stupid to say because
they won't fix it. It takes too much time.
Like we've always said, these people are humans, and they're going to work at a workplace because it's their job, and they earn a living because they have families and lives. They're not gonna fucking sit there and say, "Oh, I'm not gonna fix this because I don't want to." Do you know how much time it takes to make a fucking physics engine? Like to completely rewrite an entire, to completely wipe the physics they've had for how many years?
Just an engine as a whole.
More than a couple hours.
It's like, would EA even give them the fucking green light to do that?
No, because they would want to use Frostbite.
They want Need for Speed
FIFA's on
released
Frostbite
every
now for
couple
some
years.
reason. Like that's the stupidest thing. Like even that Mass Effect game, which wasn't Frostbite, because isn't that game broken because of Frostbite?
I don't know.
Andromeda.
I don't know. Isn't
That's the one with the really weird facial animations.
is it NFL? Isn't it NFL?
All of the sports games are on Frostbite.
All the sports games are on Frostbite.
To be fair, FIFA uses
sure?
it quite well, so I can't say bad about that. But I know Mass Effect has problems with it, like huge problems.
NHL's on the EA Sports Ignite engine.
Not for long.
Not for long. They will change it.
I don't know because they started transitioning last year.
Yeah, Need for Speed won't get on another engine anytime soon. But to be honest, like this is all shit we already know. To be honest, like the Crew 2 does Las Vegas better. I just think the Crew 2 in terms of physics is what Need for Speed always should have been, but never did. That's how I see it.
Going back to what you
It's
said
like
about
it's the closest to black box physics we've had since black box have died.
going
And
back
I'm
to
not
what you
talking about
said-
the run because that was shit.
the run. Going back to what you said about Vegas, though. The thing is with Payback, when I'm driving around Fortune Valley, I don't feel like I'm in Vegas, even though I know it's not supposed to be like a direct thing of it. But the thing is, like, I feel like I'm in Los Angeles when I'm in Ventura Bay, but I don't feel like it's just land. Like the map design in like the cities is just awful. Like they designed it as if it's an actual city, like with grids and shit, with roads you're never gonna drive on. You know what I mean?
It's because Fortune Valley isn't supposed to be Nevada. It's supposed to be a mix of Southern California and then the city part being Las Vegas.
Yeah, I know, but they did that
And
wrong.
also the physics wouldn't work with that because it's meant for windy country roads.
Yeah. So having the grids in like
That's why all the speedless races are in windy country roads because it's not supposed to be city races. It doesn't work with the physics model.
Then what's the point of even having a city at that point?
There hardly is.
Yeah, exactly. There's more desert than city.
The city's like one little part.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like in the last game, the city took up like more than half the map, and then the other, like I guess third, were just like mountain roads.
Yeah.
And in this game, like not even a third of the map is a city. Like a fifth of the map is a city, and then the rest is just mountains and at least there's elevation. At least it's not all flat. But regardless, I'd like to see way more city than there was in Payback.
Way more city racing.
What do you want to see from the next game? Because my answer is just gonna be Tokyo Nights. Like that's why I haven't, like, a lot of people say won't make a wish list. That is literally a wish list. There's everything that needs to be said has already been said in that series. But like specifically for you guys, what would you want to see?
Thinking realistically, like they're probably not going to do Japan. I'd like to see Japan, but I doubt that's going to happen. For me, I'd like to see more city street racing aspect. Like, for example, have a city based on.
Right, so if you don't think they're going to
Francisco
Japan, where else are you going to think they do? I'll just say randomly Miami, San
Francisco. Yeah, San Francisco is San Francisco is what comes to mind.
New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
Anything Asian based.
I just want them to fix the fucking game. Location, I don't really care at this point.
As long as, like,
of course, the dream is
city.
Japan, but
I think location was a bit of an issue the last game.
Yeah, because there's too much sand.
I get it. It is. But and I'm not. I'm with you guys on that. I do. Location has a huge effect on a game, especially an open world game where that's where you spend your time. But I feel like there are a lot of problems that kind of need fixing first before location.
Which is
tuning the physics to make it like more suitable for
the
inner city
physics is
racing.
Still trash. I still feel like the theme and the
they need to stop.
Story is still a bit off key. I feel like they need to sort out the upgrade system and not try this part bullshit with me because I'm not a fan of it. Like things like trying to look how much we wanted neons and they put it into fucking a loot box system. don't piss me off. No, don't want that. And I just think a bit more like direction. They've got none at the moment. It's just all over the place. So yeah, sure, I want a gritty Japan-based game with, you know, swearing and all that shit. But I feel like the core issues need working with on for now. And I know for a fact they're working on the next game now. If it is fucking Payback 2, we're doomed, because I don't see how they can fix Payback. The whole concept's a mess.
Even the story was just flawed. Like I love that one mission where you had the main antagonist in your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
and they didn't notice who you were.
like what? Is she wearing a mask or something? Like what?
I swear
was
she
one thing
says,
that-
I swear I've seen you
Regardless of
somewhere
what
as
people
well.
say about 2015 story, that made more sense than Paybacks.
It did, yeah.
They had no plot holes in that story. It doesn't matter if, what is his name, Spike, if he wanted to fight you, that's fine. That makes sense in the story. That's how friendships work, innit? Sometimes you want to box your best mate.
The thing is,
all I'm saying is, yeah, when they could have let Tyler walk in the house and killed him instead of blowing it up and then him
Getting
makes
angry.
no sense. You could have killed him right there. Like, you had C4 in his house.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why the story on 2015 is better is just because it's so shallow. Like it doesn't go too.
You don't care about the story.
It doesn't try and go deep to the point where you start questioning things. Whereas in Payback, when literally the woman tries to kill you how many times and fails, how she watched you walk out the house as you blow it up, or walk towards the house.
Walk towards it. So she could have waited for you to walk in it.
She could have killed you.
No, and as she's driving away, she sees you get up. Like, But nah, like story, they should focus on story a lot less. If you know what I mean. Like scale it back, because they
they shouldn't even scale it back.
No,
It's
I don't
not
think
even
they-
that hard.
I feel
It's
like
not even that hard.
Yeah.
We've literally given storylines. So if it is Tokyo Nights, there's an easy Yakuza storyline to have had there. Easy. Mafia period, New York, it could easily be the same thing. Like
Italian mafia.
it's
Just
not-
have some big Italian niggas.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah, man, in some
literally,
like,
that's
blacked out Maseratis.
Yo, that runner class
Japan with
monster-
like with old Mercedes, like VIP stands out Mercedes, like black.
It's
like
it is again, it's easy to sit here and say all this too, because
I could write a script for that game.
yeah, sure you could, but you know,
I could. That's what I do for a degree.
no,
I
you
could.
could. No, I'm not being sarcastic. But what I'm
100%.
saying is, you said yourself that there's a lot of reasons why Ghost have had issues. You gotta understand who's in charge there,
Yeah, 100%.
and who's
100%.
okay in things. Because again, they're all humans. They're not just robots taking in what we've said. They're humans, and
I do
things
wonder
get relayed.
that.
And
I do wonder that. Like, what's going on behind the scenes that we aren't getting told, even as game changers?
yeah, I have
You'd
no
think
idea
we'd
what's
have a
going
bit
on.
more information. You know what I mean? Like, even as game changers, we have absolutely no clue. We didn't even know when the End of the Hood article went live. They didn't tell us.
they're having orgies in the background.
No clue. We didn't know. And then it wasn't until I mentioned it, and then he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's happening." Like, you know, we didn't know that there's like abandoned cars scheduled for St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Halloween, etc. until I asked Ben, because I saw a leak about it on the NFS wiki. We didn't know that. We didn't get told anything. Which I get it, because Ben doesn't work on Need for Speed as much. Like, he's on Star Wars now, isn't it? But like, you think like us, we wouldn't get told. Like, you should still have the same. Like, Charlotte May said this like ages ago, and it's kind of stuck with me. It's like keeping the same energy. You should have the same energy you had about your game at launch now.
Oh, he
And he
was
just
convinced the
doesn't
game
have-
was. I remember so many shots being taken at Forza, like so many shots.
But at the same
Oh,
time, they're like
Like Forza won't be able to. Forza's not got what Need for Speed's got. Like, fam, you couldn't even compare the two right now. Ever.
legit. It's like bullet
Like,
dropping.
There is
you
not
couldn't
a
lace,
single.
They couldn't lace Forza's boots right now.
Yeah, and it's.
I said
it's a
Need for
fucking
Speed couldn't
shame.
lace Forza's boots right now.
What does that mean?
Like, you couldn't
Like
Never
for
heard
Speed
that
has
term
nothing on
before.
Forza.
No.
Need for Speed has nothing on Forza.
Yeah,
Jay.
exactly.
You've
Nothing.
never heard that
I've
before.
no, I've never heard that. Sounds like some old cowboy thing. Are you on Need for Speed Collision Airport? But no, I just even the crew, man. The
Yeah.
Need for Speed has got some heavy.
The Crew 2 is the best
competition next
racing
year.
game to come out in ages. It's like I can't.
Need for Speed
I
has
need the
to eat
full
a
game.
Need for Speed's eating a lot of ass right now, and it's a shame.
But not good ass. It's like eating
Need for Speed ain't
ass.
eating ass. That's a good thing, ain't
It's
eating
bad.
ass.
It's badass. Badass.
They ain't
Stinking
getting
ass.
Need for
Stank
Speed.
They're not even getting into the club, fam. They ain't even getting the opportunity.
Hey, the halt. Go away.
Need for
They're
Speed's
wearing
at
the wrong
door,
shoes.
fam. It's at the door.
They're wearing the wrong shoes. They're not allowed
Sorry,
in.
no entry.
Too
I made
drunk to
I
get
made a
in.
video on the quadripholiac just because I
I ain't buy it.
like the car, so I thought, hey, I'll make the £3 back. It's not a problem. But
Not spending any money on that.
I was going through it. Okay, CJ, you've made that very clear. You bought the Crew 2 twice because you're balling. And how many times did you buy Payback?
2.
I didn't buy it once. So,
I've got it 3 times to pay for it. 0. And I'm not paying for the Crew either, so say.
I bought
yeah,
315
I was going through it, right? And you know what? I was pretty impressed with the customization. That's not one of their problems. I actually think they've got customization at a good standard at this point. And they need to completely take their mind off it and work on the problems. Because yeah, there are things that need adding customization wise, but at the moment Need for Speed is kind of at the top when it comes to customization. That's fine. You've done that. That's cool. You've done that successfully. That's fine. Now focus on other things. Focus on the fundamental problems with the game. Like I don't mind if they take a bit of development time away from adding cars and stuff if they're going to fix the game. Like I really don't mind. But when they're like, why have they added a Land Rover? Oh my god, the Land Rover. Oh, the Castrol Challenge.
I just don't get why off-roading is in the game. It makes no sense to me why off-roading is in the game. It has no place. So in 2015, you told me the game was going to be urban car culture, it was going to be street racing, it was going to be cops. Why the fuck is there a G-Wagon in this game? How does that have anything to do with the street racing?
G-Wagon ain't even
G-Wagon's sick.
The G-Wagon's fine. The issues for me is the Silverado.
No sense.
Is it a Silverado?
Why are SUVs in a game that should be based around underground street racing?
No, Underground 2 had SUVs.
Yeah, this isn't 2004 anymore. No one does that.
They're SUVs, CJ, but they were fucking slammed SUVs.
2004,
yeah.
In 2004, when people are putting sound systems different.
Right now, it's not the same.
If Pimp My Ride was still a thing, SUVs wouldn't be on Pimp My Ride in 2015.
What was I gonna say? The main with Payback, there's a lot more content than I usually give credit to, mainly because most of it's off-roading. I swear there's more actual off-roading races than actual street races in Payback, okay? And that's about, like, off-roading's a good little more than half the game. So if you don't like off-roading, you're pretty much walling yourself off from, like, a half the game.
But that's my point, is when they rebooted the game, it wasn't rebooted as an off-roading game. It was rebooted as a street racing game. That was my point.
Yeah.
A street racing game. So why is there off-roading? No one asked for off-roading. And I remember Ben saying to me, don't start that argument. No, it's true. You rebooted the game as a street racing game. That's what you not me. You rebooted it as that. Like, so how... It makes no sense to me.
They just threw away a lot of what the reboot, like, stood for, if you know what I mean.
Well, like, if anything, since they just, like, added a bunch of things that they didn't theme the reboot around, then it takes away the effect or I guess statement of what that reboot means.
And I remember them saying that they were going to stick to it. Do you remember when they first announced it? And everyone was worried. I can't remember specifically about what, but it might have been the fact that no racing was shown going out of E3.
They didn't show any racing.
They didn't show any racing at E3, and then Ben was like, "Don't worry, racing's here to stay," but it wasn't. No, I mean, they didn't see any city racing.
Barely here to stay. It like there's like 3 races. There's 5 races that start in the city. Most of them leave the city for most of it.
I've just seen Neelix say dub cars. No, dub cars need to stay in 2009. They do not need to return. They're ugly. They're outdated. What we need to see is, and this is another thing which confuses me. EA owns Speed Hunters.
Yeah.
They own, as a company, EA owns Speed Hunters. All they need to do is make Speed Hunters the game. That's literally all that. That's it. That's pretty much what 2015 was. If you think about it, really.
It's not hard. It's not that hard, especially if you already own Speed Hunters, to make a game based off of that.
Yeah.
They've got all the resources. And
imagine a. I mean, I don't know if this would be kind of classed as copying. Imagine like a race festival, like Pro Street but open world, but it's like speed.
I know that'd be sweet.
I mean, I know it's very close.
It just sounds too ambitious. I don't trust Ghost with that.
It is way too ambitious.
Yeah.
It is a huge leap out.
And no one goes there way too ambitious.
Well, just imagine like speed.
Speed Hunters, as in like.
I remember talking about this with you like a while ago, like a year ago, where it would be the festival during the day, but it would be the street racing at night.
Yeah, and that would be the most amazing, because they would be able to do it so well if they just. Imagine. Can you just imagine like having
actual tracks as well? Because if you think about it, with EA, they could easily pay for like the license to actual proper.
Wait,
tracks.
hold on. That's another thing. Why haven't we gotten like I mean, we got I guess an airfield, but why isn't there like a racetrack but in the game, like kind of like in Need for Speed Underground 2? You know how they had. I know you couldn't go there in open world, but like they still had the racetrack.
The Racer
there.
X things. Is it Race X?
No,
the URL.
URL.
I think that's just because it's not part of the game. I don't think there's any reason for that. But like, there's no reason.
But can you? No, I'm saying for that Pro Street style game, I feel like that would be really. I feel like that'd be nice, like kind of like the Crew.
They could easily pay a license to have Laguna Seca in the game, or have Long Beach in the game easily. I don't believe Long Beach especially, because that's part of. Isn't that part of California? Like that, it's actually part of the roads. It's open roads. Yeah. They could easily do that. There's no reason why they couldn't do that.
I mean, I think one of the main things that they need to do, and I actually genuinely said this to one of the creative directors when I was there last year. I said I feel like the game isn't really about car culture anymore.
It really isn't.
The thing that I feel like the reason why, although 2015 isn't an amazing game, I feel like one of the reasons why we all were also attached to it is because it kind of spoke to us more than Payback, and it felt more genuine, and it felt like it was about cars and not these three rusty fucking Hollywood looking ass fucking stupid Fast and the Furious ass characters that no one asked for, with this stupid gay ass fucking opening cutscene with a stupid fucking truck and a fucking $1 million car that we just drive out of the back of the fucking truck like it's fucking.
And you know what that reminds me of?
Mission Impossible.
I don't know who said it.
No one asked.
Said it, but I remember hearing someone say something across the lines of, "Yeah, give the player the best car in the game at the start, so they work towards it for the end." And the Regera is the best car in the game, and you get given it right at the start for a race. And they've tried to make that the M3 GTR type thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Can you get the parallels? They've tried to make it like an M3 GTR type thing where you want to get a Regera by the end of the game, and they've even gone as far as unlocking it right at the end, like you did with the M3. But it's just too much. They're basing it too much off on nostalgia as a whole.
There's no connection, and the way they just dusted in the old characters, like. I'm not impressed still. Like with
the shit liveries.
Yeah, trash liveries that obviously took no effort, no creative direction was gone into. I think some of the groups were okay. The graveyard shift ones, they were all right, and the hazard
company
that they would. I could tell that they were thought about, but like the
noise
the 1% club.
Oh my god!
And the noise bomb ones are absolutely repulsive, and I don't know who the fuck okayed that shit. Like seriously, niggas got paid to do that. Seriously, like people sat down at a fucking computer and did that shit, and that was okayed. and that's come out of a game that cost millions of dollars to make.
Yeah.
This is my issue with Ghost.
Especially when, like I said, in the Game Changers program, they've got people like you, Crowned. To be honest, like even I reckon I could make quite a good
Not
livery.
even me. Not even. There's. They could have gone to. There's loads of people on Reddit. and
Kyle,
stuff.
Kazim, Salim.
They've got someone that they
Khalid,
actually employ. They've got someone that they actually have employed and they've used in freelance before. There's no excuse for it. I feel like I'm not going to sit here and say Ghost aren't talented. They are. They're talented people.
They've proven in 2015 they can do it.
Exactly, and they're genuine people, and I feel like that they're not malicious, but I feel like they are completely misguided at this point. I don't feel like they understand what they want.
That guy Bryn, didn't he? He was a proper car guy. Do you remember how he said he had an R32 at one point?
Yeah,
and he has an R34 now, 4-door R34, and he guy works at Ghost.
There are car people there, and I bet some of them do feel a bit like iffy about making that game. I feel like they don't play that shit. I don't feel like anyone that goes genuinely fucking sits down and plays Payback in their free time.
I can believe that Ivory Tower played that game. Did anyone watch the stream yesterday?
I did.
No.
They have like the chemistry they had on camera. I'm not saying Ghost don't have that, but then he started saying stuff like, "If anyone beats the developers' times, we're all gonna be pissed on stream," and like you just don't get that same feeling from Ghost. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the devs there seem like they actually played the game.
It's
like,
sad because I did feel that in the first game.
Yeah, completely.
I felt so connected with that video game, and it's like it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Even kind of from like the marketing they did leading up to Payback, it didn't feel as like
the fucking.
It wasn't as I wasn't attached to like the trailers. I wasn't as like, oh fuck yeah, like in terms of
the teaser trailer on 2015, the handheld camera and stuff.
Cops.
The E3 trailer for that.
If you verse the reveal of 2015 to Payback, they did a single image. As an image of an R34 in sand.
No, that's a lie, because in 2015 they did the same thing, but it was
the cars.
The cars, and it had, if you put the contrast up all the way in Photoshop, it had
if you align the reveals, was there a video teaser for Payback?
No, they just released the full trailer.
No, they just released the trailer, right? This is what I'm saying. If you put the timelines side by side, the way 2015 was treated there's more compassion in the way that game was.
Was there nothing? No, there was the motel sign.
Oh, that was before they even like announced. Yeah,
the GIF. Yeah, the GIF.
A GIF. But
and they also again, said some things about
I'm
it.
just like,
I'm trying to
even that was kind of misleading though. I got heavy Most Wanted vibes from that.
Yeah.
And
but it's probably concept art, to be fair.
Maps.
It's probably concept art.
It's just and if you look, I remember Crown dug up some of the concept art and put it on Twitter and stuff, and you can see that it looks festival based in one of them.
Yeah, which is found in the game files.
It looks like it reminded me of Race Wars from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, definitely Race Wars. Yeah, like salt flats.
No, like just Race Wars. There's like just like the actual event, like from Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I thought the game was going to be a lot more. I don't know, man. I don't know. Every time I go into it, I just kind of
you just get sad.
Just sad.
That's the other thing though, is that like one of the first pictures with the R34 in the in that like sandy area that looked like the salt flats.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of anyway.
Yeah, it reminded me like the salt flats outside of Las Vegas in the Crew 1 or in the Crew 2 now as well.
I do believe in Ghost still. I do think they can do it. I know everyone's gonna be like, when it comes around to the next game, they're like, "Oh fuck, Ghost this time."
I've not given up on them.
No,
I will never give up on people that I genuinely can see that they're trying.
The thing is with Ghost is they're in charge of a series that has pretty much been through different it's been through different like genres. Like it started off as like super
that's
cars,
also a blessing in disguise.
And it went to like, it's not the Crew where they can kind of like they're making their like they're starting like their legacy. With Need for Speed, they're like they have to like they have to deal. Yeah, but the thing is they have to deal with fans who want this, fans who want that, fans who want God in the game.
But that's the good thing about Need for Speed is they can just start off fresh in the next game.
I feel like they could. I don't think that's a dangerous step.
Which is what 2015 should have been. Like 2015 should have been.
And the only reason people are upset is because the game's shit. If the game was good, they wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, we
Like,
wouldn't.
no one's going to complain about the game. If people complain about the game being arcade, they need to shut the fuck up. That's a valid opinion. That's not doesn't matter. If people have that opinion, it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. But if there's genuine criticisms with the game, like, you can't complain about the game not being simulation. The game's an arcade game. You know what you're buying. It's not misleading.
Yeah.
You knew what you were buying before you went into it. So that's an invalid, like, it just doesn't matter. But, like, if the game was good and there was no problems with the atmosphere, if the PvP worked and I didn't get D-ranked for fucking winning races, then there would be no problem. That's what people have problems with. It's not the fact that there's so many different people to please. Yes, there is a lot of people to please. But in the end of the day, if the game was good, the game was good.
Yeah.
Like, that's all there is. Like,
But also, at the same time, I could see them like trying to appeal so many different outlets and not like fulfilling a lot of their ways.
that's just them again being over ambitious, and they just need to take a step back and make Speed Hunters like, literally. If the Tokyo Nights thing didn't go popular, we could have easily done the same thing with Speed Hunters the game, and it would have been the same thing, exact same thing of what we wanted. And the main reason I say that is mainly for the kind of tone of it. Tokyo Nights and Speed Hunters, like, it gives you that tone of, like, the atmosphere you'd want.
I think this is a good segue. Let's explain why Tokyo Nights isn't about Tokyo and night, because I feel like people.
I've explained this so many times, so you can take the floor. I don't
I
want
feel
to
like
talk
people
anymore.
have deliberately taken Tokyo Nights as like
Tokyo and
very
night.
literal,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when the entire movement is a lot more than that. I feel like the way that so many people have taken time out of their days to make videos on it has been one of the best, like, things community wise that I've seen from Need for Speed. I think the community is very toxic. I think it's very hateful, and there's a lot of hate. And when I see people being creative, and on my videos, and I know on everyone else's, the reactions have been positive mainly, and I just think that's great. So when a big YouTuber that has over 500,000 fucking subscribers comes with his arsey self trying to be funny, I don't take that lightly, because it's just, I find it to be disrespectful, because he must understand what we're saying. It's not literal, and we've said that multiple times. Not going to go into that complete argument, but I just wanted to address that. Tokyo Nights isn't about Tokyo, and it's not about Nights. It's about creating a.
It's a community. It's a name for a community wish list.
Yeah, it's making a baseline for what we want from a Need for Speed game. And I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking for myself. Cam speaking for yourself. Anyone else who's made concept art speaking for themselves. But from the videos, I've got hundreds and hundreds of likes and thousands of views, and collectively
Nearly
as a
millions.
community, millions of views. I think it's safe to say that it is a huge want. When I went into the Forza Horizon 4 comment section for the reveal trailer, I saw people saying that they wanted to see it in Tokyo, in Japan.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
It's
A lot
not
of
just
people
a
were
Need for
disappointed.
Speed thing. It is not just a Need for Speed thing. It's a video game thing, period. So it's obviously something that a lot of people want to see. And I just think people don't take it as we just want it in Japan. It could be in New York and have the same vibe. It could be in Miami and have the same vibe. It could be in California and have the same vibe.
New York.
I feel like the
Hong
vibe
Kong.
that we want is kind of similar to 2015's, right?
Yep.
Like, taking Tokyo Nights literally is like taking Need for Speed Underground, saying, "Oh, you can only race underground. Fuck this."
I mean, even if it was just us
Yeah.
wanting it in Japan, it would be better than
Yeah,
Payback.
like-
I'm sorry, it would. The whole concept of Payback is trash and it's boring.
I've got sick of people taking it out of context. Fully sick of it. It's one of those things for me. Like, obviously, I made that first video. I remember making that first video, and in that first video, I said I want this series to be a community wish list. I literally said that in the opening part of that video, and that was the first Tokyo Nights video that was uploaded. And I literally said in the opening minute that this is not, like, I literally said this is Tokyo Nights is a community wish list as a so Ghost can use this as a blueprint for the next game in terms of what we want. And I said in the comments, don't comment what you want, comment what you think could be possible with them, etc., etc. Make it realistic. And obviously it's the internet, so obviously not everyone's going to say that, but that was the intention, and I can tell by like just the way people react to it and the way it's seen, whether that's on the Reddit or whether that's on Twitter or whatever, it isn't taken seriously, and Ghost aren't gonna listen, and it's just seen as another Underground 3 thing when it's not. It won't
It's
take it
not
seriously.
Underground
They're gonna ignore it, and I'm completely aware, and
The
that's why I don't
Underground-
bother anymore.
The Underground 3 thing that a lot of people that are criticizing to Tokyo Nights, a lot of that was just people wanting Need for Speed to be Underground again, like that series. It wanted it basically a reboot.
They
of
wanted
that.
Black Box,
Yeah,
but that's not ever gonna happen.
That's not possible.
No,
that's
it's
not
like
realistic.
impossible. It's never gonna happen.
Tokyo Nights is possible and it is realistic.
Yeah.
There are the two differences. It's not clickbait at all because it doesn't fucking exist. It's not real, and it has been stated in more or less every single fucking video that's been made that it's a concept and it's not real. So why what that's not, man.
I can see
That's not even.
yeah. With Tokyo Nights, I doubt they're gonna do the next Need for Speed game in Japan, but I can see them taking,
Which is stupid in itself.
I could see them taking ideas from the thing.
I can't.
It's not hard to ignore. Like the videos on Tokyo Nights are getting more views than videos on Need for Speed Payback.
It is hard.
sign.
I think what you meant is it is hard to ignore.
Yeah,
It's hard
So,
to ignore, but
there
they
is
will still
no
ignore it.
way
I'm 100%
that-
sure of it.
There's no way that it's not been thrown around the office.
I can't see
No, yeah,
them not
definitely.
taking ideas.
No way. It must have. Like, come on. Crown's video is nearly at 1 million views.
Brilliant, yeah. I cannot see
crazy.
them.
Come on, man.
I cannot see them not taking ideas from it. Whether that be the atmosphere point or like the idea of like gangs and cars and like even like
They will.
story.
I
you
can
know?
guarantee you, I'm willing to put money on it that it would be good. I'm so confident. I'm so sure of myself. No, we would have heard something about it. We would have heard like, I've not heard one person from Ghost acknowledge anything Tokyo Lights related. Yet they acknowledged the community video I made last year when the Payback community was toxic, and numerous other videos since then. Not heard anything about Tokyo Nights, and usually you'd hear something about that, at least one or two people, even if it's just Ben just liking shit or like he's not commenting on one Tokyo Nights thing.
You think they're a bit embarrassed?
That we can draw up a better game than they can.
I mean,
Possibly.
if
That Echronic guy
everything-
has made some of the best.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like
my
he single-handedly has made a better game than Payback in a few videos, and I'm not even being exaggerating. Like,
Some of the no mad. It's like that guy. Like when I saw some of those videos, I was like, oh my God, this
he
is
needs
ridiculous.
to get a job in the
He
game
does,
industry
'cause he's on a
got
different
some
level.
mad ideas. He has.
Your comment has been
ideas.
noted.
Wait, who is this again?
Echronic style. He did some of the concepts. He made a 5 ways to play trailer or some shit, and it had it was mad. It was fully mad. It was fully mad.
And like the UI and like I don't know
And
how
people,
do.
and this is another arrogant thing people keep going on about, and it pisses me off. People who say it's just spam and all it is a picture with a logo put on. Sorry, yeah, but just because some people don't have Photoshop, or just because some people don't have the visual eye that a lot of others do, and this is coming from people that aren't even fucking creative themselves, you have the audacity for someone to say that your thing is shit after you put time and effort into it, regardless if it's just a copy and paste of the logo, I find so grim. I find that so disgusting. That's like... this is a bit of a long stretch, but this goes to what I want to talk about, the whole X thing, how people were saying like, oh, he deserved to die, and that kind of negative energy. It's the exact same thing with Tokyo Nights in terms of people not, that lack of empathy for like, this guy's actually like this guy, for all you know, could be 5 years old and he's literally learnt to go on Paint and do this, and you're ripping into this guy like you're doing anything productive on Reddit. No.
Stretch, but I understand what you mean.
It's like the same thing of people with the lack of empathy and the lack of understanding and the lack of, we're actually trying to do something productive.
The internet, innit? And at the end of the day,
But it's just the people saying it's just spam.
It's
No, it's not.
same thing as people coming into your videos and just shitting on your videos, even though you've put time and effort into it. That's just the way.
I mean, it doesn't help that the
people
Need
are.
for Speed community is toxic as it is. The Reddit is the worst fucking Reddit I've ever seen.
Oh, it's one of the
Going
worst.
onto the crew, going to the Crew 2's one is actually a heaven send. Like,
Because I'm a mod on it, that's why.
fuck off. It's awful. The Forza is amazing though. The Reddit
Forza's
is
is
absolutely
surprisingly really well.
Anyway, it's just the fact people have the audacity to say like this is shit. Don't try. Like you don't know you don't know the person behind that like it's just some people put a lot of effort into their shit.
This was one of the most upvoted posts on the Need for Speed Reddit. All right, where did this Tokyo Nights garbage originate from? Who manufactured our suffering? Like posts like that, fucking, like you have shit like this
That person
getting
probably
upvoted.
struggles giving
You
people
know,
eye contact in real life.
And then you have fucking
whether you guys want to argue against it or not, you have to like you got to remember that out of all the racing game fan bases, I feel like Need for Speed is the youngest.
Youngest.
Like they attract the youngest fans, so like
I
automatically
can
you're
assure
gonna
you-
have
I don't know.
I
If
can
Forza,
you're gonna have an
assure you-
immature community.
I can assure you the people that are in those Reddits writing every single day of their lives are not young, and they're big grown-ass men who probably work, come home and sit on Reddit complaining like a fucking video game. Not giving constructive criticism, but just being negative and disgusting. And I don't even look at that website. I don't have any time for it.
I didn't go on it.
I never will. I won't
I only
buy
get
any
linked to
videos
it.
on there. I don't give a shit because it's just a cesspool. Like it's a cesspool. It's awful. You
guys sure because I feel like a lot are pretty young as far as like racing games go.
the ones on Reddit, no, but I'd say like the ones on Facebook, the
Reddit
ones in
really
YouTube
isn't-
comments.
Reddit
Reddit's
isn't
more-
really like it's not a younger person's place they'd go. If you know what I
Reddit's
mean?
mostly like people in their 20s. So, but I mean, you do have like people who are younger on there. But I'd say the younger people in the fan base are the people on the YouTube comments and the people on the Facebook stuff.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't think Tokyo Nights will be listened to in the slightest. Though I think we would have got like, some acknowledgement from someone. Like even if it's a little thing, like, but we've not got none. Maybe Ben liking a tweet, but that's his personal opinion, isn't it? That's not. Neef, like I just thought we would have heard some, even as a game changer, under like something. You know what I mean? Like an event or some shit. But anytime you mention it, we just get ignored. I've put it in that chat multiple times. Just get ignored. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. Probably not. But like. Just ignored. I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like it's something which is just seen as a bit of a joke. Whether that's by other YouTubers or whatever, it just feels like people to see it as a bit of a joke, and that's a bit of a shame, really.
I would straight up ask, what do you guys feel about it? Like,
well, it doesn't matter what they feel because it's not their job, and they've already made the next game, so it doesn't matter.
I don't seek approval from anyone.
It doesn't matter what they think.
I don't seek approval.
I think we've proved everything we need to prove with the views.
Even the views.
You know, I feel like I'm back where I was at 4 years ago. After 2015, I thought we would get a game similar to that, and after Ghost completely threw that curveball on us and gave us something else other than what we thought we were gonna get, who knows what the next game is gonna be like.
At this point,
because that's how I felt like in 2014. So. Because when 2014 came around, and that was like our first year without a Need for Speed game, and however many years it was, I think it was like 15, 16 years or something. We didn't know what we were gonna get after Rivals, and I'm back to square one. I have no idea what's gonna come next. Is it gonna be a Payback 2? Is it gonna be a game similar to Need for Speed 2015? I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, because I remember, like, after 2015, we all thought, all right, we're just going to... Next game is probably going to be this, but even better,
more
be
similar.
Improved.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll still look forward to it. I think I'll still look forward to it. When it gets announced, I'll still get happy and I'll still get forward to it. But at the same time...
We're going to be looking at the game through different glasses.
Yeah, that, but also Horizon and the Crew 2 out, and this time round... The Crew 2 has literally planned their fucking post-launch like a fucking... Like Rainbow Six Siege, which is mad. As well as that, Forza, for the first time ever, have said they're actually going to be supporting the game post-launch. They've never actually said that before. This is the first time they said that.
They're not fucking around.
Why do we have such a bad time coming up with topics when literally E3 just happened? We didn't talk about
because
that.
Because nothing happened at E3. Other than
Yeah,
what we
but-
talked about.
Other than Horizon.
About Horizon 4 and shit. I didn't really talk about that.
I mean,
These
I don't
guys-
know what else there is to say with Horizon, really. Like,
But
It's gonna be a good game.
it's
End of
gonna
story.
be 3 with a lot more features and more polished.
yeah,
And
Which
houses is
even
cool.
Then it's
Even
not
bu-
gonna be free, then is it?
at its
Complete
worst,
oxymoron.
Horizon
You just said it's gonna be
3 with a
free
lot more
with a
features
lot
and a lot more polish.
features,
And a
but
lot
then
more
it's not
polish.
free, then is it? You could
Well,
say
yeah,
that
it
about
is.
any game with a game after it.
No.
The Crew 2 is
You
just the
can't say
Crew
that
with
with
more
every game.
features.
So what the
Can't say that
run?
with
So what
Payback.
the run is.
Hot
No,
Pursuit,
so 2012 Most Wanted 2012 is the run with a lot more features. No, it's
Well,
not
they're
at
two
all.
different studios who
But they're
made those
two different.
games.
The game after though. That's not what you said.
Well, no, but you just oxymoron the entire thing. You just said it's going. So by you saying it's going to be Forza Horizon 3 again, you're saying it's just going to be the same game. That's
Well-
what you're trying to say. You're basically double. What's the word? Double-sided sword. Is that the word? You're basically insulting the game, but giving it good.
That's
At the same
that's not
time.
no, that's not an
You
insult at
are.
all. It's not an
You
insult
could
at all.
say that about the Crew 2. I could say the Crew 2
But the
is
Crew 2
going
has
to be
bikes,
the
the-
Crew 1 with more content.
The Crew 2 has literally bikes and planes. No, planes and boats.
The Crew 2 with more content. Crew 1 with more content.
But it's not
Well,
new
it's
content.
not though.
It's
So
not new
Forza
content.
Horizon 4 is not
So
Forza
what does
Horizon.
so explain what Horizon does on a scale of boats and planes?
Well, first of all, it's a year, 2-year development cycle. Next to the Crew is how many?
Yeah, but that's not what I asked.
What do you mean?
So compared to the Crew 2, which added two
I'm just
different
going
vehicle
to say
types,
this. I'm not
what's
going to get into
Horizon?
this. I don't
What's
want to
Horizon
get
adding?
into this. I don't want to get into this. This is what we're going to do. In the middle of next year, let's see if you're playing the Crew 2 as hard as you think you're going to be playing it. Because if they don't add PvP anytime soon, I know they
December
said
is
at the end
coming.
of the year, December, I know they said December. Things happen in studios, innit? Let's just see.
It will
That's
get
what I'm
added.
saying.
100% confident.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's see if that
And
can hold the
all I'm
game.
saying is if the Crew 1, like I think you don't realize how much me, Niner, and CJ played
Yeah.
that game. Don't
Played shit
realize.
ton.
Have
Individuals.
no clue. No clue.
Individuals.
And even Horizon 2 in that, and like Horizon 2 and those two games were like
Yeah.
ridiculous. And the only reason why I'm saying such things about Horizon is the last two games were so bland. So
Yeah, they
bland.
were.
Yeah, they weren't broken. That's fine. They don't have to be broken, but they
You
were
fucking-
bland.
Hang on a minute.
They were bland.
You busted a complete nut over Horizon 2.
Yeah.
You were screaming about it, and you said that you've poured hours upon hours upon hours into it.
Yeah,
So
I've poured
is
hours
your-
upon hours in games that are bland. That doesn't change the fact. I poured hours and hours into games that are broken, but that doesn't change the fact they're broken. Like 2015.
I just fail to understand how the Crew 1 wasn't bland. I just don't get
The
it.
Crew 1 wasn't bland.
It was pretty at
Questionable.
launch.
The fucking
launch.
physics were a bit messy.
Once
But
Wild
the
Run
physics
came
don't
in.
make a game necessarily bland.
Nah, that's
Not
nothing to do with it.
unless
It
it's
was-
like
it was-
Rivals
it
where
was
it's literally break and drift and there's like nothing else to it. But with the Crew, when you've got all the
Like,
perk trees and all that kind of stuff.
Did you drive to different places?
What do you mean? In like
Did you
free,
say,
I don't do that normally
I'm-
anyway though.
Did you say I'm gonna drive to A?
But I did do a lot of road trips in that game. I don't do that.
Yeah, I
I
did.
don't really do that in games. That's just not what I like. I'm more into
I don't
tuning,
know,
customizing,
I don't know.
racing.
I just think it's a bit. I don't know.
Like for me, Horizon 4, the fact their main thing is seasons is a bit disappointing. I would have.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like a technological feat to do that. Is like I get it. It's a huge thing on a technological basis, but like
Like who? Watch the player base drop every week winter comes.
What about
I-
leagues? What about the leagues?
that's what I'm saying. Is stuff like that
the
is
completely
more. is-
revamped online. The fact that it's gonna have hundreds and hundreds of cars, customization.
I don't
on
think
the-
revamped online's a thing. I don't really believe that.
the online is completely revamped. It's not. It's servers now, not lobbies. It's completely different.
Yeah, but that's not.
What?
That's
That's
not
not a feature,
not
that's
revamped.
fine.
It's not
That's not a
revamped.
feature
It's
too.
not really revamped. Seamless
I just
multiplayer
think
is
if you
different.
actually weigh the content of the Crew 2 and Forza, they're not that different. I feel like everyone's put in this whole, the fact that it's very huge. I understand the map's huge, but that doesn't mean anything. That a huge map does not mean that the map's going to be that good. I'm not saying the Crew 2 isn't good. I'm not. I'm enjoying it right now. It's my number one racing game. But if we're realistically talking about it, it's not like they've done. I don't know. I just feel like everyone's so blindsided by Forza sometimes.
The last 2 maps from Forza have been boring though. So I don't understand what the map argument is.
Well, for the
You even
Crew-
said yourself that you didn't like the Horizon 2 map.
No, I don't. And the Forza Horizon 3.
And I'm
map's
not a
boring
big
as
fan of
well.
Horizon 3. It's just a lot of desert. I know
But
it's not all desert. It's just a lot of like
If I'm going to be
samey
honest,
areas.
I can't remember.
The Crew 1's map was shit because it was literally copy and paste.
Yeah.
But the Crew 2's map is far from what I've experienced so far.
But
It
it's
doesn't
still
feel copy
just
and paste.
huge ass map. Like you're not gonna drive around most of the time. Oh, and by the way, Crowned, it's not 72 people in one place.
It's 14.
It's 14, and then when you go to a different place, it changes to another group of 14, and then so basically, as you're driving along the map,
So it's gonna be like Need
people
for
will
Speed
spawn in.
World.
Yeah.
And I was
And
going to say,
I'm pretty sure that's the way the Crew works as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Crew,
That's
I think
beat.
the Crew's, yeah, I think the Crew's the exact same.
You can't see 72. Imagine. Ha.
Imagine
Imagine
though.
seeing 72
Yeah.
people.
But the only
on-
reason you wouldn't drive on the Crew's map is because of how you play games, not because the map isn't good.
I didn't say the map was
Because the variation in the map is
I didn't
gonna
say the
just
map isn't
based
good.
on
I
the
just
pure
said-
scale.
I
it's
just
gonna
said
be-
what they've done is they've completely revamped the map. How many years has this game been in development?
When did the first one come out?
first
I reckon
2000.
probably since the Wild Run,
14.
probably.
Yeah, 2014.
Probably since the Wild Run. So what was Wild Run was 2015, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah. So they've fleshed out the map. They've added 2 new modes
I mean,
of transport.
The map's a bit more than fleshed out because they had to add the bikes and the planes. Like they
So
have.
they fleshed out the map and added
Rivers
Because fleshed out
and,
would
like-
fleshed out would mean that they've fixed the problems of the first, but they've had to add so much more to accommodate the bikes and the
They
planes.
did.
Or the
Fleshed
the planes
out
and
the
the
map.
boats.
My description's not wrong. They fleshed it out. That's what it is.
So not from the first game.
So you're saying they've deleted the entire map and done it again? Is that what you're
No.
trying to tell me? No.
Fleshed
they
out
fleshed
would
the
fleshed
map.
out would mean that they've made the improvements that
Why-
were made from the
They've
Getting
first.
so-
they've
that's not
added
the same.
meat to the map,
Pretty much what Jay's saying. Yeah.
fleshed out the map.
They've redone the map. That's what I would say.
You're such a Crew fangirl right now. Oh my
It's
days.
not. I'm just saying what
they've
they've done.
added to the map.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Added
And
2
they-
modes of transport.
Yeah.
Right.
And they had to redo a lot of the
Yeah.
cities and stuff because a lot of the blocks,
Okay,
like
that's
inside.
what I just said. That.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
Said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's number one.
Yeah, I
They've
was
added 2 modes of transport. And they added new game modes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the planes and the boats.
So that comes under the transport,
Well, it's dead new modes.
which come under the transport. So that I would say that comes under the transport because it's still races, isn't it?
No. Acrobatics and stuff, stunt stuff.
Stunt stuff with the planes.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the modes.
Okay, so stunt races.
What else is there? There's.
And
And
drift.
I guess the
Drift.
drift mode's redone.
Drift modes, yeah. Oh, was the drift in the last one?
It wasn't
Yeah.
the same.
The Wild Run update.
Okay, but it was in the last one, wasn't
It's
So-
about a redone drift
it?
mode.
So, yeah, okay, so, but drift mode still was in the last one.
Yeah,
After
but it's
Wild
redone.
Run-
Right, this
yeah,
is what I'm
it's
just trying to.
redone.
I'm just trying
It's
to
an
add.
upgraded it's a redone
Yeah.
drift mode.
Okay. So they've then. So they've they've improved the things that were in the last game so far. They've taken out cops completely. Not adding. I'm not. Listen. Watch what you're saying. Watch what. Don't attack me. They've taken away cops. Right. That was that. It's a thing. Taking it away. Okay. That's cool. I don't
God.
mind it. It means nothing to me. I have no attachment to cops in the Crew. Unnecessary. They've taken that away.
Boo.
PvP's not there yet. It's coming, which is cool. It's
December.
not there yet. So we've got to wait like.
That's the one
months.
thing Forza does trump the Crew in completely. The leagues.
They've added a
completely.
cool video mode. I appreciate that completely. That's a huge love to the creators. There's not really a story. I like the character customization.
Yeah, that's an added plus bonus.
Other properties?
You
There
just
is.
get places.
Because don't you get one with the season pass? A different one with the season pass.
I imagine. But I think what my point is, I don't think they've added as much as everyone thinks they have. I think what the great thing about the crew is they had such a brilliant platform to build upon. They had so much to build upon that was not done in the first one. They were so ambitious with the first one, and now they've actually managed to achieve what they wanted to with the first game.
Yeah.
I feel like the Crew 2 is what the Crew 1 was set out to be in the first place.
That's the crew one was developed for
They have added a lot though.
That is my
Even
point.
stuff like the performance tuning.
The crew one was developed.
Yeah, the tuning that's
for
brilliant.
last gen.
But these are things
The livery editor.
Yeah.
What else? I'm trying to think.
All in all, what I'm trying to say is that I don't. What's the greatest racing game to you ever?
Need for Speed.
Not on a personal level.
Oh, Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Best Need for Speed, best racing game. Period.
Oh, racing.
That's a hard question. Not on a personal level.
On a technical
I could put
level,
it down
I'd
to a few. I could put it down to a few. I think Midnight Club LA, Burnout Paradise, or Most Wanted 2005.
What the fuck? I was gonna say all those three.
One of those games. One of those games, right there. Maybe add
even including
one of those games.
Even including the track races.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe
Really?
GT4.
There's no track racer that comes on level with an open world one.
GT4 maybe.
Track racer.
See, Assetto Corsa is a very well-made game, but it's nowhere near the level of that just because it relies too much on mods. So I can't put that on there.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna give me the top best 3 races ever made, Burnout Paradise, MCLA, and Most Wanted 2005.
Same.
Burnout Paradise for the multiplayer, MCLA for everything, and then Most Wanted for the single player.
I'd say Midnight Club LA is definitely up there. I'd say Forza Motorsport 4.
Horizon 1
I feel
is
like
probably
that is one of the best track races I've ever played, and I'm not talking about physics and realism. I'm talking about an entire game. Like the way that game was put out was insane. Like the storefront, the private lobbies, the auction house, the auto vista, the tracks, the whole community side of it. That game was like my perfect Forza game, and they've not touched it since. They've not been on that level since, which is astonishing. I feel like Forza Horizon 1 could have been up there, but they kind of lacked on a few things. The lack of tuning, I think, had an effect for me. But still, that's a really good one. Most Wanted 20. Most Wanted.
2005.
I
love that game. I honestly do, but it's not personal, is it? Oh.
The amount of modes, the story, the cop, the challenge series.
On a technical level,
I didn't play it, but it had multiplayer.
Most Wanted is definitely
up
there. Customization.
The best Need for Speed game.
Best Need for Speed game, yeah. On a technical level.
I loved Carbon. Oh.
Burnout Paradise had one of the best multiplayers in a racing game ever.
I never played that.
I
did, obviously. I have played it.
That was where it first started with Freeburn challenges. That's where it all came from. This best single player DLC.
If we're talking about Payback, actual Burnout, actual racing, Burnout Takedown 3 Takedown was better. Fight me, fucking fight me.
Burnout Revenge.
Races on that Burnout were amazing. I loved them. They were
I preferred the ones in Burnout Revenge, but at the same time, like
that's because you're retarded.
I don't think there's much from that in Payback. That in Paradise. I don't think there's much in it. I think the only reason why it's different is because Paradise is point-to-point red light races, as where 3 is a track. So it's of course that's going to be like a thing. But I think overall Paradise is head and shoulders better than 3. I don't get how people compare them. Because the pure sheer amount of content. It's the open world with all the collectibles first off.
Yeah,
then you've
content doesn't equal quality either.
But it does in this case, because because with everything is done to a level which hasn't been done in a game other than Midnight Club since. It's polished to a level which is just ridiculous. For me, if I had to give them review scores, I'd say Most Wanted 9, Paradise 9, Midnight Club 10. Midnight Club 10 is a 10.
Midnight Club LA just got so many fucking things right.
That's my favorite. I think actually looking back on it and thinking about it, that's probably my favorite race.
Right, and what's your personal favorite then? Midnight Club.
Most Wanted 2005.
My personal,
just because of how much I played as a kid.
Personal favorite, probably Hot Pursuit 2.
I've got to say Carbon. I can't even. It just is Carbon. Just
or Underground 2, just because of how much I played those two games as a kid.
And I think for me it would be 1. Out of the Underground, out of the 2.
Underground 1, yeah.
I think I played 1 more than 2. I think I enjoyed 1 more than 2 for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
know why, but.
And I want to say Midnight Club LA is a prime example of having a racing game with less content than the last, but still doing everything better. Everything was done better. I can't think of many things that were done worse in LA than 3.
Yeah.
Other than maybe the size, the quantity, everything that was done to such more polished. The physics were better. Wasn't as slidey. I've been going back to it recently, and you can there is levels to it. As you're progressing, it teaches you through there's a pacing to the progression where you learn how the cars handle as you get faster, and that's not something which any other game does anymore. Forza doesn't do it because they take you up to an S-Class car after I remember getting a 360 not after too long. The Crew, has the Crew done it? I mean, I guess, but not the same thing. It's not really the same level.
I've only done 5 races and I have 3.
It's a bit hard to say. Need for Speed definitely don't do it.
No.
But I mean, maybe a bit, but not the same level as Midnight Club did. Midnight Club actually teaches you the way the game works.
Test Drive that well.
But the physics were trash in Test Drive.
Yeah, no.
Everything else. I don't get how people can say that's a legendary game when the physics were very.
It's a legendary game because of how fucking ahead of its time it was.
Yeah.
The Crew 2
and maybe
is heavily influenced by
maybe because I didn't play it in its time. That's something which
clearly because do you understand how similar the Crew 2 is to Test Drive?
I've played them. I know exactly the difference between the two. The physics in that game are awful.
Okay, the physics in 2015 are awful.
I know, but I would never say 2015 is a legendary game.
But you love 2015 though.
But I would never say it's a legendary game though. It's not a legendary game.
Who says Test Drive is a legendary game?
Loads of people do. Loads of people hold Test Drive too.
I wouldn't say it's legendary, but it's definitely.
It is.
A game doesn't have to be that good to have its place. It has its place.
Yeah, 2015.
Definitely.
2015 has its place.
It doesn't hold a candle to Midnight Club.
No, it doesn't.
No, they don't. But still, they still have their place.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the best ever.
But
who says Test Drive? I didn't say that. I just said the whole map size of the Crew 2, the houses now that are appearing in games, the whole character customization that are appearing.
I swear more games have done that. Didn't PGR do that?
Project Gotham Racing had you could walk around.
You could houses, yeah, because I remember, yeah, and you could buy
people
them.
who worked on Project Gotham Racing a lot of
Forza
playground.
Yeah.
So.
Basically, you can't do that in Forza Horizon 4.
You can't, which I was really baffled by.
Because I would be so good. Forza Vista would be so good in that.
You've made all these Vista modes, and we can't walk around with our friends and look at our cars. God. But anyway,
that's one thing I think Forza Horizon 4 is gonna. Every other racer is not going to come close, and that's leagues. And I don't know why they're not pushing it more. I don't know why they're not pushing leagues more, because seasons is cool and all, but leagues, that is such a huge thing, and I don't understand why they're not pushing that over everything else. That's going to kill the Crew 2 until the Gator Rush thing comes out.
Yeah.
100%.
Then again, they also
said that
they also talked about with the Crew 2, in addition to what they talked about in their updates, their planned updates. They also said that they're just gonna be adding new events to all the other families. So I'm praying, they were saying, we bet we can keep you interested till the.
Well, this is what I am finding interesting now, because what's his name? Ralph Fulton the creative director of Forza Horizon. I was watching an interview and he was saying how they've never really they've always tried to, well, they tried to keep content going in the last one, to keep people engaged, but this time with every season change they're going to add new races with it. So races are going to get added every single time a season changes, and it's not going to be
That's every week.
See, and now with leagues,
that's what they're trying to say.
With
now,
leagues, I don't know, like, necessarily if they needed to do that with leagues, because leagues would keep me interested anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think necessarily the seasons would even need to be there if leagues was such a heavy influence and
I just
keeping
hope this
me
isn't
interested.
a bluff. I hope it's not a bluff, and I hope this Forza is going to be an interesting one.
It's easy to talk, but you got to walk the walk.
Live service. I don't think that's something Microsoft have done well in any of their games yet. So let's hope Forza Horizon 4 is the best, because Ubisoft have got it nailed now.
Yeah.
Rainbow.
So I'm confident the crew too. Like we'll have something to do to keep us interested until PvP at least.
I don't know that, again. I don't know what to think about them not having it, because it should be there at launch, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing I can point down on that game which lets it down. That's the only thing which doesn't bump that game from like a one more level, like one more point on like whatever scale I'd give it. Like, is the fact it's not going to be there, because I know it's going to affect it. There's only so much I can do leaderboards wise, beating friends and stuff, and I guess it helps that 2 more cars. The legendary parts are going to help, I think.
Yeah.
When
Gator
those
Rush.
come, when those come with Gator Rush, I think that's going to keep me interested wanting to upgrade cars. But when Forza's got an actual leagues mode, like an actual full-on leagues mode, that's huge. That's such a huge thing.
It's not individual.
Yeah, it's group based, isn't it? Well, it can be group based if you want it to be.
We're gonna have so much fun doing that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because if you remember, and this is when we were in a drought, when we were doing
Goliath.
CJ did his league and then you did yours, and we were just doing Goliath. Like, the fact that we're gonna have a solid race, I don't care what anyone says, the physics are solid.
I don't know why people don't say the physics on Horizon or something. Like, that makes no sense to me.
It's just gonna be fun. And regardless to the crew not having PvP, we've got 2 fucking racing games that are going to like be fresh and feel new. Like,
I think the only thing for the leagues thing I'm worried about is the balancing. I think this is going to be the first time.
The car classes are going to be very restricted. How it works on Forza is that there's a certain amount. It will be a certain car class.
Oh, so like what, the non-ghost ones and stuff?
I don't think it'll be.
But even then, like, I think,
go into contact.
Because, like, I know, do you remember Rain's Murcielago, the all-wheel drive Murcielago that was fucking rapid?
You won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do that because
if that's not a problem, then I guess what I'm saying is pointless. But like, if that is a problem, then
on Motorsport 7, you get like, I remember doing one where they had like a classic car one, classic muscle car one.
Something.
And no, you can make your own cars, but there's a certain limit you can't go past.
Okay. Because what I was gonna say is, if they did a Gran Turismo Sport and they had Group 3, Group 2, Group 1 cars, like that's how it is in Gran Turismo Sport, and they're all tuned by polyphony, and certain cars have different attributes and stuff, but they're all the same, if that makes sense. But they're not the same.
If you can't tune.
Because like that's how it is in Gran Turismo. So like there's the Megane. I was playing it the other day. The Megane Group 3 car is better in a straight line, but the Cayman I was using murks it in the corners. So it depends on what kind of playstyle you have, and you would pick the certain car for your playstyle. So that would be really cool, but I can't see him doing that. Probably because obviously it's an arcade game and it's less serious.
I kind of hope they're all. I hope there's some with just like everyone in the same car.
Yeah, one mate rate. Yeah, because that's, again, Gran Turismo does that as well. Because they do one mate.
I mean, it seems to be something that they're actually like going to put a lot of attention into.
But that's another thing, is I'm not sure about a lot of it. Like the stories, I don't think there's actually going to be a story.
Because it's going to be dialogue.
Horizon sort. Yeah, I think it's just going to be more of a case of, here you go. I'm not sure how the businesses are going to work either. Like, because when they say, a taxi firm, so you drive across the map and get rewarded for it, that seems like a bit of a perk to me, not a business. When I think of that, I don't think of Vice City businesses. I think of a perk from Horizon 3. Just rebranded.
Yeah.
Because when you say you're getting rewarded for driving around the map in your favourite car, that sounds to me like a perk that you get extra XP or an extra multiplier in the last game. And then what else have they said? What else have they announced? The Forzathon Live. I guess that's cool. I'm not sure if I'll do it a lot, but it's a cool thing. I guess I'll do it with you guys.
You do know what that is, isn't it?
It's like free bench challenges, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll do that with you guys. But then me being at uni, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna play that. That's down to me. But it's a cool. Like, it is cool. What else is there added? Seasonal barn finds are cool.
Yeah. I didn't even know
Leagues
that.
are cool. Am I missing anything? The fact that so new cars are coming every 2 weeks instead of 4 every month. I think. I think that's how it's. I think it's 2 every week or 1 every week. I can't remember something like that.
I mean, they haven't even really announced everything yet. They haven't said anything about modes.
There's no new modes, I don't think. From what I've seen so far, like with the UI leaks and that kind of stuff, it doesn't seem like there's any new modes. The progression being across everything, I'm not sure how that's going to be either, because we get progression for being a better blueprinter, but that's literally just setting up a race. So I don't know, like, if that's just going to lead to easy money, because that's not what I want to see from Horizon. Like, yes, you should be able to collect cars, but it should be like Horizon 1, where, like, you still have to actually think about what you're doing. You can't just buy cars willy-nilly. I'm trying to think what else they've announced. Obviously houses, but then I'm not sure if, are houses actually going to be expensive.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they're just.
Because I'm pretty sure from how that's been.
Vistas.
That's how that's been explained. Is literally it's like imagine the festivals from Horizon 3, but you have to purchase them. You have to purchase them instead, and it's kind of like a fast travel point. And I imagine if you're designing the game, you'd want the players to have all of them so they can fast travel everywhere. So I'm not sure how expensive they're going to be.
I mean, if you're buying a fucking castle,
these are things I'm thinking in my head. Yeah. These are things I'm thinking in my head that I'm like not necessarily that sure on. Like I said, the leagues will be cool, and I can't like that would sell the game for me by itself. And like the 72 player lobbies, that's cool. That's again, those are the types of things that sell the game for me. But what doesn't sell the game is seasons. I don't know how to feel about seasons. It's just I get it.
Watch the player base drop every time like winter comes around. Every week, just watch the player base drop.
It will though.
Yeah.
It will. 100%.
No one likes
it will.
rain or snow in Forza.
No one likes snow. Period. And that's another thing is with seasons, you can change it in blueprints anyway when you're doing races,
which is good.
But doesn't that take away from the whole point? Like, isn't it?
I just think it.
I don't know.
I just don't. I think it's one of those things where you're trying to tap into realism, and it's not necessary for it to be real like that.
No.
Like the Crew 2, you have it snowing in fucking Las Vegas. You have it snowing in Miami.
If what they did is they had separate parts of the map with those seasons.
I don't mind it being dynamic, but it's the fact it's a week.
Yeah.
That's my problem. If it was a day or half a day,
yeah.
If it's a week. And they did say like, at the launch, there's going to be a week. So they may change that depending on what people are saying. But like, that's a long ass time for it to be snowing in a game.
I mean, I guess they've got the button to change it.
Well, apparently, if you're in game and you're on that time in the week where it changes, you can see the change from snow to autumn.
Really?
Which I don't know how the fuck that's gonna work. But like, again, it's just
voodoo shit.
I just the idea of not being able to race around in like a Senna in winter without the snow has to do something. Like if it's that dynamic,
it's absolutely ludicrous if they think that's gonna like tick well with everyone.
Yeah,
it's just not.
They can't not have.
I don't get it. Why? Oh, that was so close.
I didn't play the Blizzard Mountain expansion because I didn't even buy it just because I had the gold edition. I thought it was bullshit that people who got the gold edition didn't get expansions. But anyway, I don't know how that works because I didn't play that expansion. But I wonder how Black Ice is gonna work, if Black Ice is even in the game.
It is.
I do.
Oh Jesus.
I played it.
Did you?
Yes. Slippy.
Because
No, because Black Ice.
I don't know. I don't know how else to tell you. There's less traction.
There's a clip with the M5 on like an ice bank, and you can see the car is like sliding as you think a car would slide on ice. And I watched that and I was like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Imagine a Drift J86 or G86 or some shit on an ice bank, like that type of shit.
Yeah, that's one thing, Crowned. Maybe the roads get cleared. Maybe the roads,
What,
you know,
solid?
do you know how the roads are in the UK? Like main roads usually don't get fucking covered with snow because
they're salted.
because of plows and shit.
Yeah.
So
They could
maybe
do.
the roads are clear, and then the grass is snowy, and then the off-road tracks are snowy. Maybe that's the way it is. But then the visibility is still going to be
Low.
Shit.
Yeah.
off.
Garbage.
But then they've done this new
visibility
whole
is-
temperature model.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So
I'm
then
not a
the
fucking-
roads.
I'm not a scientist. I
So
don't
then,
care.
so then the roads are going to be cold, and obviously if the roads are cold and wet, your car's going to be slipping around more.
Oh my god! What is this real life simulator?
Like
Hey, someone say simulator?
people don't realize, like especially if you haven't, like a lot of people who haven't driven cars don't realize how much different the roads being wet actually makes.
yeah.
I didn't realize till I bought my MX-5 how much that actually makes a difference. And if Forza is going for what they're going for, it's going to be Horizon 2 with rear-wheel drive all over again. I don't need that in my life. That was awful. That was oh my god. One thing I'll commend them for is how much different Horizon 3 is to 2 in terms of rear wheel drive. They did bits to rear wheel drive in Horizon 3. If you go back to Horizon 2, it's literally just
Terrible.
it's awful, and you have to use all wheel drive in that game.
If
There's no
you
choice.
raced with a rear-wheel drive car and race and won, then you're
In Horizon 2, you're doing some shit.
voodoo.
Doing some shit. You have to have all wheel drive in that game. Period. So I just don't know. Again, seasons is the one thing.
Let's just wait and see. And I guess I'm still kind of happy that they're actually like adding this time, like genuinely adding.
It's the first
things.
time they've the reason why I think I've thought about it now, and I think the reason why they've put so much more effort into this is because it's in their home place.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's because when they say, I genuinely believe this time when they say it's a passion project, it's a passion project. Like I get that vibe. Like it seems like they've actually put it seems like the Playground games that made Horizon 1 are making Horizon 4, and it doesn't seem like they're going on a holiday to Australia just because it's Australia sort of thing. They're making the game in Australia because it's an exotic place. Like that's what he said in one of the things, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what he said in one of the interviews. I feel like they're doing this because they actually want to make something more. And it's like the first time
Which
I think
makes me
Playground has done that ever.
Forza
since
Horizon
one.
5 in Japan.
I'm not getting my hopes up for Japan anymore.
No, it's gonna be in Dubai.
Should we talk a bit about that before we end? I'm seeing it getting light outside, and I do want to
Oh,
end it in a
fuck
bit.
off! No. Oh my god! Light outside! Light outside! Whoa!
Hey, yo, you got a trampoline.
Don't dox me! Don't dox me! I'm gonna get people outside my house.
Do you
now.
want to talk why Japan would be a great place for a game?
I mean, it's obvious, man. Do you want me to link a couple videos I made? like 2 years ago?
you go and explain one.
It's pretty obvious.
Oh. I mean,
Some people don't understand you.
everyone narrows it down to just be JDM imports, but like, if you really look into like car culture in that place, it's ridiculous. It's much more open-minded. There's so many different versatile places there. There's dark areas, there's city areas, there's mountain areas, there's
Farm areas.
fields, there's farms. Yeah, there's literally an island.
There's oceans.
Are you gonna keep interrupting me? There's literally an island, like off of I think basically there's an island off of the mainland of Japan, and it's literally used for a rally event every single year.
Yeah, it's in an abandoned like.
There's
factory.
highways that are famous.
Yeah, it's called
famous highways.
Ushnagulen.
Yeah, Ushnagulen. And I just think the whole like, if you wanted to put a story into it, like Cam said, you've got the gritty feel that you can do, the Yakuza. I even think the Forza Horizon Festival would fit very nicely into Japan. If you think about
The neon
like,
lights.
the big buildings
in the middle of
neon lights and
Tokyo.
all, you know, you got the fancy confetti and shit and crowds closed off, and
The
then
Chinese lanterns, like.
if you oh god, even like,
cringy.
all right then, let me just paint a picture for you then.
Ooh.
Not so gritty, not so underground. Let's say you're in a Ford Raptor, and
I don't want
Ford
to see it get
Raptor,
light outside. This is scaring me.
the Ford Raptor is parked on, you know, like a big ass field, but there's like blossom trees everywhere. So if you think about blossom trees and how
That's Japan.
It's like fucking pink and it's nuts. If you think about Forza and the way they like to show off their fucking graphics, if you think about that, just picture that in your head.
I want to paint a picture in your head.
Oh, this is gonna be fun, isn't it?
It is, man. So I've had this thought about Need for Speed for so long. So this is Frostbite, isn't it? Because they're still using that shit engine. But keep it right. So it's nighttime. There's an Aventador with like Morohashi-san's Aventador. Think about something like across those lines. So pink, and
Actually, it's yellow.
nigga, I'm saying pink, and I want pink
yellow?
neon.
Nah, I want it blue.
Pink flashing neon coming out of the bottom, and he's like the doors are up, and there's crowds on both sides, and this is a narrow street in Tokyo with neon lights everywhere. You know, you can see like shops, light signs everywhere. Anyway, this Aventador with a Need for Speed's amazing sounds, the doors are up, and it comes to the starting line, and some guy gets out. Obviously, Yakuza member. Guy's a bad boy. This guy murks Japan. This guy is Japan. He's like, this guy is it. Anyway, there's crowds. He comes out and goes, hello. You know, doing the shit to the crowds. He gets back in the car. The doors close. Engine starts revving. The V12 starts going. All the neon lights and the rain pouring down on Tokyo. And then next thing you know, another car comes along. And let's just say, just for old time's sake, it's the RWB Porsche from 2015. The green one. And they're side by side. And some Japanese girl who's wearing nothing comes in the middle.
What?
Wearing nothing. And she does like, oh, open. And then it cuts. And then it cuts there. With like the neon lights in the background and shit, and then it just goes Need for Speed Tokyo Nights.
I mean,
that like
That was your idea for a trailer.
That was my E3 reveal.
What about but I don't think that'd be too sensitive for people at E3. A woman needs to be
I think
clothed.
he was joking about that, mate.
E3 reveal, and then just imagine that the last frame you'd see would be the RWB Porsche, the Aventador, the starting girl, and in the background 2 fucking huge skyscrapers with neon coming off. Like, you know the one scene from Tokyo Drift when they're drifting around, the one thing in the middle of Tokyo, and the people are moving and the cars are side by side, and they've got the 2 things. Imagine those buildings in the background, and then
or like
boom,
Tokyo Tower, yeah.
boom, and it just goes that.
Just put it this way, the creative
gassed.
potential of that place
That
is
gets me so gassed.
Insane.
Like I've had that idea for an E3 trailer for so long. Like ever since you first mentioned it, I've always had that idea of an Aventador, neons.
You're the first one, mate.
Oh my god, it actually does me.
Everyone.
It actually does me.
Niggas
Anyway.
using my logo. Thanks, Cat. Thanks, Straight Up Hippo.
Oh my god.
Yo, use my Tokyo Nights logo. I'm gonna fucking sue you, all of you.
You mean the
I'm
one
gonna
I?
fucking
You
sue
mean the
you
one
and
I
collect
made?
every single. You
mean the one I made?
I like the one Jay made better, actually. The like.
There's
curvy
only one, and I made them all. So.
No, I
On
made
that
them
note.
both. I made both of the ones that have been used collectively.
All right, Q&A questions.
No, we don't have
not
that.
doing this
We need to wrap
anymore.
this up. I have not ate.
It's 2 hours.
I have not ate since yesterday morning.
You're
It's your fault for
retarded.
being black.
I've not ate since yesterday morning.
I need to go to bed. It's lit blue outside.
Yeah, looking at a live cam of London City, like
So-
the sun's up.
Right, on that note,
You're a fucking weirdo, man.
for those guys that stay for
Live
2
now.
hours, there's been like a constant 16 people in the stream. Safe
Shout out
shit.
to them 16
Yeah,
niggas.
you real boys.
Yeah. Massive shout out to you guys.
Tokyo Night's never gonna happen. Forza's gonna be good. Recruit's gonna be good.
The crew, more like the crew 2 is good. Haha.
Need for Speed 2019 is going to be some good.
Tokyo Nights are never gonna happen though. So
Super Shoot the games could be good.
hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay safe and peace.
So, Ulin, you can't say that word.
Wildcard.
Fuck off.